Hello and welcome to Heaven Learning Academy. Today we are going to make the donuts. For donuts, we are going to have the following ingredients. Before looking at the ingredients, we are going to wash your hand for 20 seconds and you are going to follow the 20 by 20 rule. You are going to wash your hands to remove any type of the dirt and the bacteria present. You have to wash your hand for 20 seconds after every 20 minutes. You are going to wear the gloves, the apron, and the head cap to prevent any type of the cross contamination to the food. Now, for the dough of the donuts, we are going to require 1 egg at room temperature, 5 tablespoons of warm water. Then you are going to take 3 tablespoons of butter. You can take hydrogenated oils. You are going to take 6 to 7 tablespoons of powdered sugar. Then you are going to take the milk, 1 by 4 cup of warm milk. We are going to add 1 packet of yeast and you're going to add the 1 by 4 teaspoon of vanilla essence. You can add 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence according to your taste. These are the measuring cups. This is the whisk that you are going to use. This is the brush and the spatula. These are the mixing bowls and the bowl for storing the dough. And you are going to use the cling wrap. For making the dough, you are going to use the plain white flour. So in this bowl, first we are going to add yeast. You are going to take 2 teaspoons of yeast. It is going to be equal to 1 packet of yeast, that is like 11 grams. This is teaspoon, not the tablespoon. Keep it in your mind. Now we are going to add 1 by 4 cup of warm milk. After that you are going to add 5 tablespoons of warm water. Keep it in your mind, the water and the milk should be warm. Now you are going to use a whisk to mix it properly. You are also going to add some amount of sugar in it, like you are going to add 1 tablespoon of sugar. Then you are going to keep it for 15 minutes to let the yeast rise. Add 1 tablespoon of powdered sugar and mix it properly and then cover it and keep it at the rest for about 15 minutes. Until then, you are going to take 2 cups of white flour at the beginning. After adding the flour, you are going to take the butter. You should be taking the butter at the room temperature. You are going to add 3 tablespoons of butter and you are going to mix it very well with the flour. There should be no lumps. After mixing the butter with the white flour, you are going to take 1 egg at the room temperature. Then you are going to take 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence. You can add it according to your taste. It is going to give you the best flavor. Then you are going to add 6 to 7 tablespoons of powdered sugar. Then you are going to take a whisk and mix it properly so there should be no lumps of the white sugar. Then you are going to add your dry batter, that is the flour mixture. You are going to add in the half batches. First add the half batch and try to mix it with the help of a spoon. Try to avoid any lumps in your mixture so that you should be forming the well combined dough. Then add the second portion. Then you are going to add the yeast and the milk mixture and mix it properly in this dough. You are going to add it in different batches, like in 2 to 3 batches. Then you can use your hands for proper mixing. After adding all the milk and yeast mixture, you are going to add more amount of flour. Total flour quantity should be 3 cups or 3.5 cups according to your mixture. Keep adding the flour side by side and mixing it with the help of your hands. If you are not wearing the gloves, keep it in your mind that your hands should be neat. There should be no dirt present. This should be the look of your dough. When your dough is going to look like this, then you are going to start stretching your dough properly. You are going to place your dough onto the counter and you are going to add 1 teaspoon of butter, and then you are going to fold it and stretch it. As you can see, I am folding it and stretching it. Again and again, you have to repeat this step until you see the proper gluten formation in your dough. As you can see, this is the final look of your dough. Now you are going to take the oiling brush and take 1 teaspoon of oil and add that oil to your bowl in which you have to store this dough for about 2.5 hours. Now this is the condition of your dough. You are going to add this dough to that bowl and then you are going to take the cling wrap and you are going to cover this dough properly. As you can see, I am covering this dough. Now you are going to keep this dough at the warm place for about 2.5 hours to let it rise completely. Okay, now this is the condition of our dough after 2.5 hours. It is rised completely. Now you are going to knead it again. You are going to take some amount of flour onto your counter and you are going to dust all your dough with that flour. Now you are going to take the rolling pin and you are going to softly roll the dough. Keep in your mind that you should be dusting the dough properly. So this is the thickness of your donuts. You can use the donut cutter or the cookie cutter. If you don't have them, you can use any cap of the old containers. You can also use the bottle cap for the inner holes of the donut. Now you are going to dust a separate tray and you are going to add your donuts for the proofing time. You also have to rise them up for about like half an hour to proof them properly. Cover it with the help of a cloth and let it rise properly for more half hour. Now you are going to heat the oil and then you are going to drop the donuts. The donuts should be rising at the top of the oil. As you can see, when I am adding the donuts, they are immediately risen up to the top of the oil, top surface of the oil. Now you are going to add your donuts one by one, but keep in your mind you have to proof them for half an hour. The proofing is very important so that your dough is going to be very good and very soft and it is not going to absorb much oil. Your flame should be medium. You are not going to keep your flame very low or very high. Otherwise, your donuts are not going to cook properly. As you can see, the donuts are rising up to the surface of the oil. Then they are going to get the golden brown color at one side. You are going to flip them on to the other side. This is the appropriate color for the donuts. You are not going to make them more brown. This is the appropriate color. Then fry all the donuts that you have made. After this, you are going to coat your donuts. First, cool them onto the room temperature After that, you are going to take the melted chocolate, then you are going to add the toppings of your choice. I am taking the melted chocolate here. You can also prepare the glaze, chocolate glaze, at your home by mixing the sugar, cocoa powder, and the milk. You are going to take the sprinkles, bunties, biscuits, white chocolate, chocolate wafers, peanuts, and the pearls. You can also take the Oreos or any chocolate biscuits to sprinkle them onto the top of your donuts. Now you are going to take your donut, dip it properly into the chocolate, then you are going to place them onto the cooling rack so the excess of the chocolate is going to drip off from the donut. Then we are going to top it with our favorite toppings. As you can see, you are going to follow this step for every donut. You can eat them as it is, but remember that there is not enough sugar present in your donuts. You are going to keep coating them one by one. Now I am going to top my donuts with the crushed Oreo biscuits. For the second donut, I am going to use the peanuts. I'm going to use the crushed peanuts. You can also add any other type of the nuts. You can also add the crushed almonds, crushed cashew nuts, crushed pistachios. You can add any topping that you like. You can also add the white chocolate glaze on the top of the donuts. I am adding the bunties onto the third donut. Then I am adding the white chocolate, crushed white chocolate onto the fourth donut. And I am adding the white pearl sprinkles onto the fifth donut. You can add any topping of your choice. Now I have arranged them onto the dish. This is the final look of our practical. As you can see, I have arranged them. I have added various toppings to them. So now I am going to taste one of the donut. I have also added the crushed dark chocolate. Okay, enjoy. Thank you.